why should I give a damn?
What the fuck is up? You're now tuned in to episode 128 of Why Should I Give a Damn? We back in the motherfucking building. Had to take a little break, had to go on vacation, had to travel outside the nation. You already know what time it is. It's the latest and greatest podcast sensation. I'm your host, Eric.
It's your girl, Bree Breezy the Barber.
It's the Snowman, Ronnie King.
Okay, president of the Georgia Smith fan club, Colin.
And we back in the motherfucking building once again. Shout out to everybody who tuned in on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, iHeartRadio. Make sure you go and you subscribe to the channel. If you're watching us on YouTube, don't just be a jabroni. Fuck with the homies. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. And if you haven't hit us on the YouTube, it's WSIGAD _ podcast on Instagram and WSIGAD podcast on YouTube. Make sure you follow and subscribe to all the channels and fuck with us. We on a whole nother level in 23. This the Michael Jordan year.
Yeah.
It's the Jordan year.
Draymond Green year.
No, don't be
Nah,
disgusting.
that's a bitch ass
Colin.
nigga.
Don't
No.
make me throw up in my mouth, Colin. It's the Jordan year. It's the fade away from all your problems year. It's the 6 rings year.
Yes, sir.
23 is all about upgrading. Shout out to Lil Wayne. Shout out to Beyonce. We upgrading on that shit this year. Everything, and another thing we not doing in 23, we not giving broke niggas leeway in 2023.
They are giving
no,
broke niggas
no.
murals, though.
And that's disgusting. And I'm glad you brought that up, Colin, because I posted in the Why Should We Give a Damn group. Shout out to everybody that's in the Why Should We Give a Damn group. If you're listening to this and you're not in the Why Should We Give a Damn group, let us know or inbox me. Do whatever you can, because if you're listening to this, you should be in the Why Should We Give a Damn group, where we do inclusive discussions and we really get uncensored in the Why Should We Give a Damn group. It's a Facebook group where we really get it in at. But going back to what you're saying, Colin, recently I posted in the Why Should We Give a Damn group. There was a mural. I forgot what city it was.
I don't
Anybody
remember.
But
Probably
they
LA
made
or some shit.
there was a bum who sat on a corner every day or whatever. He was just a bum. He looked like he had to do some kind of drug because he didn't have no teeth. So I'm assuming he did some sort of crack. And they made a whole mural about this guy. They made a whole mural on the wall about this guy. My argument was, I bet you there's a lot of hard-working African-American people, hard-working revolutionaries and people who actually do a lot of shit for the community, and you choose to waste this whole space and this whole wall on a bum who just sits on his ass all day.
Yeah.
We need to stop, and shout out to Tone Johnson. Shout out to the comedian Tone Johnson, who's been on the show multiple times. He made a good statement. He said, nobody gives a fuck about the regular 9-to-5 working guy. And he's right. That's the reason why Trump became president, right? By the way. But he's right. Because I feel like, especially in the black community, you either got to be a broke bum, or you got to be rich to really get love. Mm-hmm. Because everybody in between, they like, fuck them.
You know what? That's why I never look for love. I always just look for respect, because I'm always in the middle, and I realize I like kind of being under the radar, honestly. Because to be recognition, you do have to be super on top, or you have to be a bum. But we know that about the middle class. Like, we get fucked over the most. You know, no benefits, no nothing. Like, if you're not dirt poor, you get nothing. And then even if you're super rich, you get some type of
all
tax
the tax
cuts.
breaks.
We get fucked over. We get taxes taken out of our little checks. They go to God knows what. So the middle guy does get, like, I'm not gonna get a random mural. You know what? When I'll get a mural, if police shoot me.
Police shoot you, you get a mural, or if you become rich as fuck, then you might get a
pay
mural.
for artists.
But for the everyday working nigga, but I was disgusted by this mural. I was absolutely flabbergasted by this mural because you guys wasted a whole wall space on a bum. As black people, let me tell you this. To my black people that are watching, to my black people that are listening, we need to stop allowing broke culture to be a part of our culture.
Yes.
It's a lot of black people out here getting money.
Yes.
It's a lot of black people out here hustling. It's a lot of black people out here that own their own business. Shout out to Breezy the motherfucking barber. Shout out to Ronnie out here doing his motherfucking thing.
And Colin.
It's a lot of people like Colin. Out here.
Welcome
Really?
to the squad, Colin.
Yeah, and to be honest with you,
Okay.
all of y'all, I'm the only 9-to-5 nigga, but all of you niggas.
You started
no,
the podcast.
But
boss.
I'm a boss, but right now, no, we saluting y'all right now because y'all out here, y'all got your own businesses, y'all getting y'all own money. Shout out to y'all because I just wanna reject all broke black culture as a whole.
Right.
Like I said, I work a 9 to 5, but I'm the boss. I'm that nigga. Nobody is over me when I step in that motherfucker. So a lot of the reason why you niggas don't like 9 to 5 because
you work
you never
hard to
been
get
that
there,
nigga.
though, type
But let me
shit.
tell you, a lot of niggas they shit on 9 to 5 because they never been that nigga.
No.
They never had the power to hire niggas,
No.
fire niggas. I don't
Yeah.
like you. Get rid of niggas.
Yeah.
They never had that power. They've always been at the bottom of the totem pole.
Yep.
So to them, having a job is trash.
Mm-hmm.
You know, motherfucker, I had white people scared when I walked through the motherfucker. That's just how it is. But let's get to where I really want to go with this is, guys,
Oh,
I don't like that broke nigga culture has become black people culture. Let's
I agree with
us
that.
as a whole,
point.
as a nation, as a culture, as a whatever. We need to separate ourselves from broke culture because every race got broke niggas.
Yep.
Every race got broke niggas. And I don't like the fact that a lot of black people have associated themselves with broke culture.
That's
So
a good
anytime they pass a bill that affects broke niggas, we act like it's racist. No, it's not racist.
That's
It's
true.
brokest. It's brokest.
You get some motivation, some drive, get some money,
I'm
get a
inventing
job.
the word. Look, I'm inventing the word. It's brokest. I don't give a fuck about broke niggas. And that ain't got nothing to do with me being black. Cause anytime a politician passes a bill that affects the broke niggas, black people take it personally. Like all of
That's
us are
true.
broke.
That's because
Like
we
ain't
be,
none
we
of
be
us
looking
get no
out.
money.
I think we be looking out for our people. You know, we all got somebody that's
They
still
need
out
to
here
get some
slamming,
motivation.
scamming, and
Look, guys,
Elevate.
it's 2023. It's the Jordan year. There's no excuse to being broke. In 2023, ladies and gentlemen, we're not giving broke people no I mean, you can literally drive around in your car and deliver food. Shout out to the door dashers out there.
yeah.
Shout out to them.
Just imagine if we had
Uber Eats,
DoorDash.
that's
Like
true.
all of us is in our 30s or close to 30s now. Ronnie, Breezy, y'all the youngest people, right? Even y'all are at the end of the 20s, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But Colin, you remember, like, I remember growing up. Remember the only jobs I was hiring when we was in high school and shit was caddies and shit.
Caddies.
Yeah,
and
that's
maybe
6 a.m.
fat-
shit.
Bag boys at Pick and Save.
Yeah, maybe a little
Just
fast
imagine,
food joint.
Colin, when you got your license,
The
that
skate
you
ring.
could get paid to just drop off food
yeah.
to people.
Yeah.
And it's crazy
If
because
you can't do that, it's
This
sad
kid just
for
dropped
you.
off the Panera.
yeah, and it's getting because I know all the hustles, but I'm not a tangible. Last time I ordered from DoorDash, I hate when it's a woman's name and some random dude dropped the shit off.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That is disgusting.
I'm tired of baby daddies dropping the food off and using names. It's kind of sketching me out.
It's a little sketchy, but with food delivery, it's just you just want your food.
No, no,
to
no,
come
no,
to
no.
you.
I
Like,
want-
it ain't your like if it was like your driver or something, it'd be a little different.
It's
I
my
just
food,
have-
Ronnie.
yeah,
It's not a
it's my
tire.
food.
It's my
But
food.
you know they be doing
I
that
don't want
because
random niggas
sometimes
touching my
most
if
food.
your
restaurants
license
now
bad,
steal
you can't
your
do it,
food
so they
and
do it to
shit,
other people.
That's
If your,
true.
if your
Well,
shit
if your
bust
life-
open, then that's a problem.
Because Ronnie,
But-
you a fry stealing nigga. That's why you're going hard.
Nah, hell no.
You a fry stealing nigga out the
No,
bag.
Ronnie,
I've done
though, if your
DoorDash.
license is bad,
I
a
do
lot of
this,
times
I
they
do-
do it to other
I
people.
do all
names.
kind of other
that's
shit
true.
type shit, so it's just basic shit type shit. But
Ronnie's a Rocky Rococo breadstick stealing nigga. I didn't know that. Like I
Nah,
said,
hell no.
I don't. If your picture doesn't match,
I'm
I
a
don't-
chef.
I don't accept that shit. Like I said, if your picture doesn't match, like if I'm
Oh,
calling
really?
the Uber and your picture doesn't match, I'm
Nah,
cool.
with the Uber,
Unless I'm
yeah,
running
that's
late,
different.
I don't
With
like
your
that
food
shit.
delivery, if you be waiting on your food for 30 minutes and then
long as the orders match, it's good
Nisha
with
was
me.
supposed to bring it through, but Nick brought it through. Shit, you gonna still take the pizza because you want your food. You're not
Yeah,
gonna
I'll-
make a report. It's just food type
Yeah,
shit.
but-
I'm gonna
food-
take the food and I might file a report if the nigga looks sketchy.
That's that light skin.
If he
shit,
looks
man.
sketchy,
It
but if
is.
you bring
It's my
that
food.
shit
I
to
don't
my
blame my food.
door,
I'm sorry. You can do flim flam on another job. When it comes to my food, I want who's
Hey,
on
with
the.
food, yeah, exactly.
I'm for finessing, but stop playing with my food. That's it. That's it.
If y'all
Most of-
stickers
most
pop
of the
open,
bags
bags
be,
pop
like,
open, then
most
call.
of the bags be stapled
That's
clothes
true.
and stuff. Like I just
Niggas
I
don't got
just ordered-
staples. Niggas don't got the staple
Yeah.
remover
Yeah.
staples.
If you
Yeah,
a driver
see.
and you ain't got a
That's
staple,
cheap. That's
a staple
cheap.
remover
The
for a
restaurant
bag to get
or
some fries
the-
to staple the bag.
And
The
niggas
business normally
That,
staples
niggas is
it,
broke,
guys.
so if they that broke, they ain't got a stapler or a staple remover
you know,
because they broke.
You know, video. True. That's
Ronnie,
right.
you're caping for broke niggas.
I'm not caping for
but
these
I have
niggas.
to throw, I have
They
to throw a
can't
flag.
afford it.
I gotta throw a flag on you,
Aw,
Ronnie.
man.
A broke
Aw.
nigga flag.
Ah.
We're not caping for broke niggas in 23. This is the
No.
Jordan year. Okay? If you're not fading away on broke niggas, then you don't have no business talking about nothing.
I just
Okay.
said these niggas can't afford this shit, bro.
Okay,
They can't
no.
afford a stapler or a stapler
If you
remover.
can't afford a stapler,
They're
kill
broke.
yourself. Okay, if you can't afford your stapler, go. If you can't afford a stapler, go to the nearest bridge and jump. It's 2023. It's too many ways to get money, Ronnie.
Fact.
It's too many ways to get money.
It is too many ways to
Okay?
get money.
If
But
you can't
that's
afford
true.
a stapler, go to your nearest medical cabinet. Or if you got some Tylenol, just eat everything. Eat all that shit.
That's true.
Eat all of it.
And I'm sure people probably do that shit together too. Cause like, what if you fucking let me DoorDash on your account? You know,
Yeah, I don't like that shit.
I
Like
give you
said,
half.
Some people
That
do run the
picture
doubles,
better
though.
match.
Some people do run the doubles. Like it'll
That
be one
picture
person
better
driving, one
match.
person running.
or
Some people
if they
do that.
sometimes they be in a car, so
Yeah, no, for
you be
sure.
like, okay,
And another thing I don't like when you pulling up with 8 niggas, like 4 niggas in
Yeah.
the car.
Yeah,
No,
that's crazy.
I don't like that. 'Cause I don't know
That's
who.
crazy.
I don't know who got
Who's holding my
COVID.
food?
I don't know who got
Like,
COVID in that
damn.
bitch. I don't know who put a
Did the
booger
nigga
on my
shower?
bag.
Nigga had the same jeans on for 2 weeks, but
Yeah.
my food was on his lap. No,
all
I'm
in
good.
between his
Ronnie,
legs
you
and
just said it
shit.
was sealed though.
Nah, fuck
Oh,
that.
now it's not
Germs go through
sealed.
the
Wow.
bags, G.
Now
of
it's
paper.
not sealed.
Yeah, exactly.
Them
But
dirty
Yeah.
jeans, nah, fuck that.
I
Niggas
do-
be smelling like sweaty balls for 2 weeks. That shit got it
Sweaty
in.
balls.
Yeah.
disgusting. But once again, I got to shout out to all the listeners of Watch It. I give a damn. I got to shout out to everybody who waited for us, who've been hitting us up during this break, because this was the longest break we ever took in the 3 years, going on 3 years of us doing the podcast. So shout out to everybody who was like, where y'all at? Anticipate that next episode. We love you. We support you. It was a lot, and we fuck with you. But this break was well needed because we came back rejuvenated and ready
Facts.
to take it to the next level. And excuse us for those that were on all the newest shit that's going on right now, because we got to go a little bit back in time, because we missed, like I said, we missed the whole month. We
Yeah.
down there missed the whole January. And as a why should I give it them? We don't really miss months like that. So we got to go back and talk about a lot of shit that's been going on. Like, we was completely off air at the time where the Meg and Tory verdict came in. And I feel like we got to have, as much as I'm over the case, and as much, especially now that the verdict is done, and I've argued with niggas for damn near years on this shit.
It's been about
So
2 years.
I'm over it. Like I said, I'm pretty sure the listeners over it. I'm pretty sure y'all are over it. But as a podcast who's covered this multiple times, we
gotta have
do have
closure.
to have our closure reaction to the verdict of what happened, because Tory Lanez was found guilty on all charges. And I do want to add, ladies and gentlemen, that this was not a Tory Lanez versus Megan Thee Stallion case. This was Tory Lanez versus the state of California.
Correct.
So, with that being said, he probably would have got charged with something, whether Meg said anything or not, because those of you who travel know, you don't get caught with a gun in L.A. or New York. Because if you get caught with a gun, whether you just got it on you or you get caught shooting it in L.A. or New York, you're gonna get to catch a case. We saw Lil Wayne in the prime of his career then have to do a year. He got caught with a gun in New York. We see multiple people get caught. So
And Tory was already a felon, right?
Yes.
he's already a felon,
Yeah.
and
Raps.
like I said, I have to admit my bias, because with him being a Canadian, like I said, all you motherfuckers that talk about all this border security, we got Canadians come over here doing whatever the fuck they think
Get
they
him
want
up
to
out
do.
of here.
Exactly.
Get him out of here. But he was proved guilty. So I want to know, and we got to start with Colin, and we got to just ask you guys, how did y'all feel about the verdict? Do y'all agree with Tory's father, who said that he feels like Rock Nation paid some people off? Because there's a lot of conspiracy theorists out there that are saying that they feel like Meg had the machine behind her. Even though, just let's stop acting like Tory is this broke boy. 2020, and before we get into the reactions, even though I can't
He's
stand,
not broke, but he's independent.
but
She's not.
exactly. But let me get in before we get into reactions. I gotta give Tory his credit, even though I can't stand him. I'll say I can't stand him, but we gotta be fair. 2020, Tory and Meg were the two hottest artists in the pandemic. They were the two hottest artists coming out the pandemic. Tory, between the quarantine radio, chicks tapes, and all of that stuff,
Tapes
Tory
was
was one of
fire.
the hottest artists at the time this shit went down. We got to give him his short flowers. We got to give him his snipped
I don't,
roses.
because the music was always karaoke style.
It's
never
no,
original.
but
He ain't
Ronnie,
got no
that's
real
irrelevant.
shit.
I like to
That's
step
irrelevant.
on the
Broken
roses
Minute is pretty
first.
original. That Broken Minute is hard.
Right, but Ronnie, how we feel about it personally is irrelevant if a nigga is out here doing
I've
the
been saying
numbers
this
and has the
before. I've
following.
been saying this before this happened. So I've always took this stance
Right.
with his music.
So we got to give
Fuck
Tory his
his
credit. So it makes sense that he was delusional during this time because this is probably the peak of his career. So I get that. But I want to know, Colin, when you first got news of the verdict, Tory guilty on all charges, what was your immediate reaction?
I was pretty shocked. I just stand on how I thought he was gonna get off, and even throughout the whole thing, it just kind of made sense that he would. So I was shocked because there was no evidence. Overall, I didn't really care about him, but I was really shocked because I talked so much shit for over a year. I was trying to gamble with niggas on the verdict, so I was really salty, but I was baffled. And I know even some girls, like women personally, there's a lot of Tory fans who was like, I'm really shocked right now. This is fucked up. I know a lot of women who were starting to shit, so I was just really like, damn, that's crazy. And I right now, I would no longer underestimate her power. Like, Rock Nation right now has her and the fan base she's on so deep.
Queen Bee.
I feel like she's bulletproof. I gotta respect Meg. And I'm on the side now. She need to start suing niggas who besmirched her name. Not me, because I never besmirched her name, but she needs to start suing niggas.
You think she needs to get her Cardi B, Tasha K money now?
I would really so academics could get sued, but overall,
I ain't gonna lie,
Academics for sure.
Hey,
I want him to
I'm
get
trying.
sued.
Look, like I said, I gotta state my buy. I hate academics.
I hate
But
him
if she
too,
can
but his
sue
shit funny.
academics if she sues academics and wins, I will tell you that will give her 1,000 legacy points for me.
Yeah.
'Cause I can't stand them.
Everybody goes.
she's in a lawsuit right now with Carl Crawford, her old label.
Who's been clout chasing throughout this whole case.
I think he just wants his money. I think
He signed her though. That's
I think-
kind of unfair.
No,
though.
I
He
mean,
did
no.
sign
I
her
give her.
and-
I know.
and
And
he
I don't
invested
want
in
to.
her
I want
type
to preface
shit.
my statement
And
with
she had
this.
the obligation because she signed the contract.
Preach,
Correct.
Ronnie.
And let me
Preach.
preface my
He
statement
shot
with
my
this.
little shot.
I do give her. I give them a little bit of respect because of this. I'm sick of these independent rappers signing these quick deals, trying to get on, thirsty to get on, and then when they get hotter than they expect to get, all of a sudden they act like they're oppressed by their original deal.
Yeah, because
when
she
you were
fulfilled
the
her
thirsty
contract.
artist who signed this artist, and it wasn't just Meg who did it because she signed a
A lot
fucking
of
deal.
artists did it.
There's a lot
Most
of
artists did it.
almost
Fuck with
They
it.
every
did
artist.
with her
Nicki.
contract. They
And it
tried
happens
to
to
say something for the Hotties wasn't a real album
she-
because it was only like 16 minutes.
She
But it was a
finished
fucking
out
album.
She finished out her contract and she renegotiated.
There was no
or
rules
she
that
goes
didn't
somewhere else.
specify.
That's
But
usually how it
Her
goes.
contract
Yeah.
didn't
And
say the
that's the-
album couldn't be 16 minutes long.
And I'm
She
glad
put
y'all mentioned that because that's where the Carl Crawford niggas kind of look. Don't get me wrong. You guys do have a valid argument because I hate when artists try to play this victim role once they get famous and they got hits and they didn't expect it.
You keep saying, you're talking about Megan when you say that type of stuff, right?
no, but
That's
it's not
any
just
artist,
her.
though. You either
How
better
many
yourself
like Colin?
or you oblige to the contract that you signed. You feel me?
All right.
It's
I agree with the
either
latter.
or.
I think you should oblige with the contract.
But how many artists
Or get
in
bought out.
today's game have came out and all of a sudden they feel like they're a slave? Like
In
even
rap,
Kanye.
in rap, 90% rap.
Even
Because
Kanye.
we
Oh, I'm a
always-
slave. I'm a slave. Nigga, you signed that
But
shit.
think about
Shit.
it. What's the one lesson we've learned throughout rap? That the industry is shady. They got us. They have to go through that. Even Puffy tell them like,
It's
I
part
kind
of business though. Like you signed
Done.
the deal. Like
nigga shit.
Nah,
I gotta
like-
screw over a nigga.
No,
if
but
you had money to invest in somebody and then you
I
investing
agree.
the money in them, they have to they
agree.
sign a
I agree.
deal.
I agree.
Like you put money into the shit and you
Exactly.
expect
I
But
think
certain
she,
outcomes.
but she
It's business
fulfilled the
type
deal.
shit.
Do y'all know what the deal was?
the deal
Yeah, she
was
did
like
fulfill
a
the
number of
deal.
albums. It was like an album
Correct.
number deal, like
He
Drake
lost.
had.
I think he gonna lose that case, and then she gonna be out the deal. Then she free to
course.
do whatever, but she's
That's why
gonna
she
sign
went-
another deal.
But let
because
me
I
give
don't think
clarity.
she's
That's
capable
why
of
she
being
went to
Let me
independent.
give clarity to what's going on. The Meg Thee Stallion situation is it's not that she wasn't fulfilling her contract. It comes down to another debate. It's what do you consider a quote unquote album? That was the. It's the same thing Drake was going through with Birdman. It's no different. It was. She signed a
And the
deal
court-
where you give
the
us
legal-
4 albums.
The legal definition of an album is a song that's at least more than 8 songs.
That's the
And-
legal.
And that's what's gonna hold up in court though.
It had
But
over
see-
8 songs, but it was only like 16 minutes long.
Yeah, but okay, and I'm glad you
Wait.
mentioned that, Breezy. So
Her Hottie shit was only 16 minutes long.
Something for the hotties, yeah.
something for the
It
high.
was
That's not
short.
an hour- that's
It was short. So
That's
that's,
not
It
an
was
hour.
where,
24. It was short.
but that's where the
If it
Carl
was-
Crawford, or that's where the CEOs are complaining at. Because even Wayne had to go through this at one point where
Doesn't
they
specify.
release a short album or they release something that gets released for half of our sales get released
So
for
she
free.
dropped 8 songs. So 8 songs is about 2 minutes a piece. So that's about 16 minutes.
It probably was about
It was
more
more
closer
than
to
8
3.
songs.
Probably about 24. I think it got to be under like 30. For EPs and LPs, there are
It's
a lot
song
of new
count
rules.
legally, but with the minute thing, they gonna change that because the album gotta be at least, in my
But
opinion,
wasn't in her
25
contract
minutes
then?
long.
Wasn't
At
her
the minimum,
contract.
25
It
minutes
might
long.
be right under
My
that.
thing is, like, and that's the reason why it's important that we say that the real argument with the Megan Thee Stallion case isn't that she said, "Oh, fuck my contract, I'm hot." It's that Carl Crawford and those guys are debating, "Oh, well, this wasn't the album."
Let us not underestimate. This album had 21 songs,
Oh, yeah, that's way more than
45 minutes.
That's an album.
That
That's
changes,
an
That's
that
album.
changes
That's
a
an
lot.
Yeah.
album.
That's the album. I'm
Like,
glad you
that's
looked
an
that up,
album.
Breezy.
That's
Good
an
on the
album.
lookup.
This was the
Where
last
fuck
album.
these low numbers come from?
But no, I don't think with Carl. See, it wasn't about the album time with this
That's
one in
an album.
particular.
That's an album.
No, but what it
She had
was
a cover, a
this is what
promotion,
happened.
That's an album.
A lot of the free sites and a lot of like it was on damn near SoundCloud. And
Everything
shit.
is free now.
But
All
what
the albums
happens is when these people who sign these artists don't get the recoup that they feel like they invested, or
Right.
they don't get the money back because half of it went out for free, or half because that last Meg album, it was kind of even though she may have considered it an album, it was treated like a mixtape where a lot of people got that
Yeah.
shit for free.
Did she
so
run
Carl
it through-
Crawford and his guys, they probably were
If
looking
she
at it
didn't
like
run
we
it-
can get our money.
If she didn't run it through her label and get it approved, then it was a mixtape legally. It didn't oblige her
That's
contract.
not. But
I
that's
don't
not
think,
the law,
I don't think
Ronnie.
Rock Nation is operating like
No,
that.
like
That's not the law. The law is
she not
the
signed
law
to Roc
is if
Nation.
you
She
drop.
signed to
I
Carl
know
Crawford.
when she was about to get, she was, I'm pretty sure, getting her Rock Nation contract. They wouldn't have grabbed
She
her out
got
of
a-
no contract.
She
if
got
they knew they was gonna have to deal with some
marketing
bullshit.
deal with them or
Management.
some management or some shit. But she signed to the baseball player. He didn't want to put money to her. She owed
Well,
him, not Rock Nation.
well,
I
the end of the day-
understand that, but she got bought out by Rock Nation, did
got-
she
I
not?
don't think
She
she
didn't
signed.
get
She
bought.
didn't
No,
get
no,
bought
no,
out.
no,
She
no,
didn't
no,
get
no,
bought out.
Basically,
no, no,
she
no.
signed a
No, she
contract with
did.
Rock
No, no,
Nation.
no,
did she
let's
not?
specify. Let's specify.
That's a
it.
separate
What
contract.
happened
That
is
has nothing to
she
do with her original
signed.
contract.
No, she signed a deal with Carl Crawford and all this other stuff. Then she went and signed a management and distribution deal with Rock Nation. That doesn't
Correct.
necessarily
All
mean
right.
you're signed to Rock Nation, because there's people like Meek Mill who's been managed by Rock Nation for years, but he was signed to Rick Ross.
This nigga still crying about
So
money. Shit.
yeah, exactly. So let's just make that, because a lot of times people get confused. You could be signed to one entity and have a distribution deal with another entity. So sometimes that line gets blurred. So let's say that. But as far as Meg Thee Stallion case, I hope she wins this case, because at the end of the day, if you drop in 45-minute albums, which a lot of these artists
She
aren't
gonna
even
win
dropping
that
that, come on
win that
now.
one.
A lot of this shit comes down to money. Like I hate that, and we had a topic, but I hate that a lot of black people funded things and black people groups. Like that's the reason why you don't see R&B groups no more. That's the reason why a lot of y'all favorite podcasts that have multiple black people end up breaking up and they have to start over. Why? Because I don't understand, but when it comes to our shit, there's always a money dispute that fucks everything up. Like I said, you just saw the same shit when shout out to Joe Budden podcast. Remember that shit came down. What? Money.
Mm-hmm.
Every R&B group you probably like that involve niggas. What separates everything? What fucks everything up? Money. Like I don't understand why the money is never right when it comes to niggas. Is
Because
it
niggas can't
They
count.
can't.
or is it that
they
niggas are
can't
never
count.
satisfied?
They
I don't
can't
know.
That
count,
too.
and they don't want to split it even after egos get involved.
These
One
niggas
person or more feel like they should get more than
What was
others.
that Brandon Marshall podcast that just happened that they split up? Brandon,
It was I Am Athlete.
so I Am Athlete. They had a couple athletes on there or whatever.
I like that one.
Brandon Marshall had the startup money for it, so he invested the most money, and then he went and got his guys that he knew had connections to join the podcast. They didn't invest the same amount of money as him in the beginning, and I can't stand Brandon Marshall, but I do have to tell it
Yeah, he was
accurate.
right about that.
I do tell it accurately. So they came in, they didn't have as much money as Brandon Marshall, but they had charisma and they had connections, so they jumped on. The podcast ended up blowing up, and the two niggas who didn't invest that money didn't expect it to blow up the way it did. So now all of a sudden, you didn't probably sign a deal where you probably only getting 20, 30% because you didn't invest that initial startup money. Brandon Marshall is reaping the majority of the benefits now. So now they're looking at Brandon Marshall like, fuck that. We got to do another deal. You getting over on us. And niggas do this a lot.
Yeah.
Where we don't put the initial money up, but then when we see somebody benefiting too much than us, now we getting snaked. And that's the same thing that's happening with these rappers that signing deals. These fucking A&Rs and these white and Jewish motherfuckers, shout out Kyrie, shout out Kanye, these white and Jewish motherfuckers who are seeing the talent, they looking at you like, this is $1 million man. This guy can make me $100 million. Do you see this talent? That's what these white people, they see the $100 million. They see the $1 billion in you. But that broke nigga from the hood don't see it in himself. So they taking a little 10,000. They taking a little, or they got a fucked up situation, so it's like, well, fuck it. 100,000, that'll get me out the hood. 200,000, but then once 100,000 ain't nothing to you now, cause you that nigga, $1 million ain't nothing to you now. Now, hindsight is 2020. You want to go back to that original deal. Now all of a sudden, I got snaked. They got over on me. Mm-hmm. What niggas gotta understand, and people, content creators as a whole, that has to understand, is being a content creator is a lot like going on casino. And if you don't bet on yourself, the dealer is going to win. You can't get mad if somebody had more faith in you than you had in yourself. If you want to be $100 million, $200, if you feel like you deserve all this money, don't sign a deal. Stay independent. But if you need help from those major pushes, then you can't get mad when they take their cut. And I hate being a voice of the machine, so to speak, but I just get tired of us creatives and us people I see all this talent in, and we sign with the machine for that assistance and get mad when they take their assistance fee. That's how the world works, ladies and gentlemen.
Like,
that's how the world works,
deal,
ladies and gentlemen.
so
you sign the deal, they're going to get their money. You can't 4 years later after you got 3 platinum albums and all this other shit. You don't know what that means? That means they believed in you more than you believed in you.
And then after you finish your contract, you could do your own thing, but y'all sign more deals and renegotiate and all that shit. Like, you still don't bet on yourself, so
exactly.
it's part of a bigger problem.
And in the Meg Thee Stallion, I love Meg. I'm Team Meg. But in the Meg Thee Stallion case, even though I hope she wins, but let's just be honest. The reason why she was in the deal she was in, because Carl Crawford saw Meg Thee Stallion somewhere and said, that's a star. Mm-hmm. I'm going to make a lot of money. Because no business signs nobody unless they think they're going to make money.
And there's nothing wrong with that.
And Carl Crawford saw her and said, I'm a star. And Meg saw the deal and said, this might be the best I can do.
That's business.
Because nobody signs a deal unless they think it's the best deal for them.
People got to remember, because she really upset me because she was like, he's clout chasing, he's broke. I'm like, listen.
How he broke?
Carl Crawford was like a 8-time or like a 6-time MLB. He has baseball money. His son is a top pick. That nigga probably 40, 50 million. So it is an investment, but I don't think Carl Crawford was really like trying to clout chase as much as he probably. When you go to the media now, it's always gonna seem like clout chasing. But I'm sure it's something he was kind of going after for a while.
I don't think he was money chasing. But I do think he was.
What clout do he need?
Clout chasing.
Now the funny thing is, he did sign another little girl. Not a little girl. Sorry, he signed a woman that kind of sounded like a fake Meg, and that kind of had me. It kind of had me rolling. It was like a little big thick chick with the. And I'm like, oh, this Carl. I'm like, oh, he's chasing another Meg since he lost it.
But you can tell he's a nigga that's in Houston, probably at the strip clubs, probably got his ear to the streets.
He gotta take all the money he gonna make off of her, that he gonna own for a long time and just ride with that type shit.